Good day, everyone. Appreciate for the opportunities to attend this conference, ICC SNS 2024. My name is Unveiling, postgraduate student in University Malaysia, Sabah, Malaysia. And this is my title, Unveiling the Malaysian Online News Portals, Credibility's Conundrum, a case study among the University Malaysia, Sabah students. As for the introductions, we can state that refer to global risk report, the top 10 risks in global, which is misinformation and disinformation. You can mention that, and the 10 years for the 10 years still ranking 5 out of 10. So that the credibilities, which is the center of this study, is one of the issues that cause misinformation and disinformations. You can saw that thousands and hundreds of sources or the media are reporting regarding these issues, which is and the studies as well about the credibility information and social norms about the misinformations and the importance of news credibilities. So the breakdown of study is that there's the steady shift of news from traditional media to the new media, causing the new news production paradigms. So now people like using news websites or social media platforms on their mobile device to stay updated with the latest informations. Research conducted by the Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism indicates that 86% of Malaysians now prefer internet and social networking sites for accessing news. And the main reason is the high internet penetration rate of Malaysia. Although the spreading of online news portal is very common, but online news portal are now a portal of misinformations. And then with this, right, online news portals, whether mainstream or alternative, has been proven as be an important way of spreading large amount of content. What makes it more important is that online news portals are now allowing clickbait phenomena and affecting people's perception of reality. So that credibility is a very important issue in today's world. So this is my research questions. Student views on credibility of online news portals. University student motive the consumption of online news portals. University student perception of the impact of online news portals, and the solution to university students suggest that online news portal in Malaysia can increase their credibility. So on literature review, we have 4 main ideas of the previous studies about the news credibilities. What is news credibilities? So objectivity is most important. The news cannot be biased and has to be factual, and cannot be must be balanced in news coverage, and cannot be depends on the depends on the opinions, your own opinions, like journalists' own opinions, and the factualness, accuracy, and completeness as critical distinguished characteristics of the news credibilities. As a result, you can saw that relevance also one of the crucial principles. Consumer must be know the news that have news value, but not reporting about the nonsense. And the last one is that news must be well prepared with news sources and the news values that result in then of overemphasis on unpleasant news. So this study used methodologies, focus group study and in-depth interviews as the methodologies and the research design. Because this method can provide in-depth discussions and explanation in a large group. In-depth with purposive sampling and convenience sampling, in-depth interview also help the researcher infer data from students at the University of Malaysia students and using Elasty to analyze the data. Primary source also the literature so all of the questions are made from literatures. And yeah, our in-depth interview and focus group study involved 10 individual students of 2 groups of students, and each consist 3 individuals at the University of Malaysia Sabah. The reason we choose university students because they are the future of this country and they have enough knowledge regarding internet usage and likely to be familiar with Malaysian online news portals. So as you can see, this is the sampling of our studies and the interviewees, which consist of 10 students and 2 focus group discussions that in different gender, race, nationalities, and courses. And most important thing is that we add 2 international students who study in UMS and in Malaysia for more than 3 years, so that there will be more subjective, there will be more objective on these issues. And this is our conceptual frameworks. All of the questions are met based on these conceptual frameworks, users and gratifications. Users and gratifications is a theory that audience play an active role in consuming media and they turn to various media sources to fulfill diverse needs and gratifications. And there is 3 main variables: users, need, and gratifications. Yeah, people have common needs or common gratifications such as cognitive, affective, or information seeking and social integration needs to use Malaysian online news portals. And with using the online news portal, they can identify different types of needs and gratifications. So previous research also like using users and gratification perspective in identifying the credibilities of online news portals. Like online news portals utilize various media to attack more audience in Malaysia, means social integrations, also using the information seeking behaviors and convenience as the faster speed of news disseminations. So this is our conceptual frameworks. Users and gratifications connect to the credibilities, and they are the 4 themes of our findings. So the summary finding is like theme 1, the information seeking needs and credibilities. Most students accept as true that online information portals or online news portals are significant among universities, especially the things or information regarding their course. They tended to choose online news portals that have been visible as credible and sincere provider of record. However, during information seeking, the body of the news are their concerns. You can see the first student say that this student 5 from India, which is India races, that she say that I found one news is about the news that when touched the certain topics, he cannot like given about the details about like what did happens and how did it cause. And the news story is like abandoned on the most of the online news portals. And the online news in Malaysia are, yeah, like the first students in Egypt, he used the online news portal for his assignment. You can say that some of the news are too short and without any source and photos. They possess research skills. Yeah, you can mention that a lot of students also possess research skills when they delve into a news topic or news item. The student from China mentioned that as a research student, the Malaysian online news portals are not presenting facts, and some of the online news portals is like manipulate the facts, and the title is like they have clickbait issues and without proper citations and sources. And the theme 2 is about social interaction and credibility. A few students indicate that they use news as a method of social interplay and engagement. They've been selective about sharing information from resources that deem credible, as they have been conscious about their recognition and the ability to share misinformation. So most of in this theme, right, we mentioned that most of the students still prefer the traditional news sources that convert into online news sources because they watch it during childhood, so they prefer this. And then depends on the history, right? They believe that they have the potential to do that. So the theme 3 is about the gratification or confirmation bias and credibility challenge. A subset of individuals stated that they sought out online news sources that align with their pre-existing belief, and this causes in bias as well. So the mainstream online news portal sometimes afraid to report some things, but independent online news portal will try to speak out this. So in our studies, we want news and it's very important. But when news come together with race, politics, of language, opinion, So this is the focus group discussions that discussed by our students. Race, politics, language, opinions. That mean that Malaysia have different race, politics, and language online news portal. They have different opinions, and then maybe they were biased. And it's interesting to add, we as a that online news portal belong to some political parties, in Malaysia. So the team 4 is like convenience. News now is super convenience, and then a lot of news are lacking of credibility because most of the interview thinks that they are quickly come out with the news because they want to make people stay updated. But quality of news is something that must be controlled, depends on the interviewees. And the comments under the online news portal is something that should be mentioned. So for the discussions, team 1 is like shortage of information, highlighting the importance of sources, problem pertaining to the reporting requirements. And the second thing is like Malaysian online news portals must be giving conscious selection of news articles and sharing based on perceived credibilities. And the dream 3 is like gratification and bias. Online news portals that give preconceived notions, locating validations, and in having their perspective. So this is like very biased. So the last theme is about convenience. Convenience is very good for online news portals, but students are now prioritized in-depth reportings and reality checkings for these issues. So the conclusion is that the purpose of this study was to news utilize Malaysian and analyze the obstacles to the credibility of contemporary Malaysian online news portals. So the findings show that the credibility of online news portals is under greater scrutiny than ever before. So as a consumer increasingly relying on them to acquire the news, the online news portal must be accurate, and then we should most of the students think that we should promote media literacy. Okay, thank you. That's all for me. And this is my reference. Thank